Good. Now I'm gonna have a place to park without hitting that on the undercarriage of my car every time. A place to park in front of my new land.
Get up in the morning time, making biscuits. Get up in the middle of a new day, biscuits.
Welcome back. Happy New Year. This is our new land, right here. And we are going to take you on a tour. This is a half an acre, gently sloping land, and it already has some fruit trees on it. And I am so psyched about building a house and putting in gardens and all that stuff. And of course, taking you guys along with us. Here's the property line right here, which we marked out with a string. And as you can see, this giant grapefruit tree right here is just on my side. Here's the neighbor's yard. And then here's my yard. I told him he could have all the grapefruit on this side. And here's a soursop tree right at the front. And then we have another grapefruit tree, which we're looking into the sun right now because it's in the west and it's the afternoon. The property generally orients north. Here you can see it across here. From the power pole and that rock there to down there past the soursop where the string is. This is mine. Rachel wanted to say something about this rock here.
Oh, I'm envisioning the kids sitting on the rock, waiting for Daddy to come home when he's out. You know, doesn't it just look like a nice little seat and they can see the road and wait here for Daddy to come home? I just envision them doing that. I think it'll be...
I like it. It's a very good rock.
It is!
It's an exceptional rock. And behind the rock here we have a bunch of cassava that was left here, which we can dig up and harvest. It's overgrown quite a bit, but there's a lot there. That's yucca. Y-U-C-A, not Y-U-C-C-A, which is completely unrelated. There we go, look at that. There's a bunch of it already here. It's probably 100 pounds in the ground. Pulled up one root, it was like 6 pounds or so. And you can see all the bananas back here. Those are all ours. They're bananas and plantains of different varieties. Take you up here. We cut this little path, and we've been doing little cookouts over here. We actually cleared on the property on Christmas Eve, so this was like our Christmas present from God. He gave us some land, which is really surprising. We've been over here and made some impromptu seats with scrap wood and some rocks that we dug up. We really don't have anything over here right now yet, but I like this little grove of bananas, and it was a nice little clearing. And right here, there's a cocoa tree. So we have chocolate as well as bananas. Look at this. It doesn't get any cooler than that, does it? Look at that. That's my chocolate tree. It's still hard to believe that it's actually all mine over here. It's surprising. Like, I feel like I'm walking around somebody else's property, and then I'm like, I can't believe it. I own a half an acre of the tropics. It's mine. Crazy. This is where I'm storing scrap wood. We just kind of threw it all down here. That's why it looks so bad. But I put this tarp up here, and I cut a piece of bamboo from down by the river for a ridgepole. We were really close to some huge stands of bamboo, which is going to be very useful. And the edge of my property is right here on the string. And my neighbor is also a gardener, and he's a nice guy. I've talked to him quite a bit, and so I'll be sharing with him in the future, I'm sure, a lot. Let's go down along the side here. We can follow this edge of the property. Isn't this great? There's a lot of vines here. I've been going along here and trying to figure out what useful and edible things are here, which is what I do when I do property consultations, which I still do on Skype. I do property consultations for people that are wanting to put in new gardens or start a new homestead. This right here is a coconut, and this one is almost ready to start bearing. So this is a nice tree to have. But it was completely covered in vines around the edges. And so I've been going along and making little paths and then clearing around trees, and we keep discovering, hey, look at that. Oh, look at that. There's a citrus back there. Look at that. There's a coconut palm. As you can see, a lot of this is all covered with vines, and we don't really know what's going on in here, or if there's anything useful or edible underneath all these vines, because it hasn't been tended for a while. One of the things about the vines is that a lot of them are actually passion fruit. There's quite a few passion fruit that have been falling on the ground back here. So I'll see if I could show you some of those. It's starting to rain a little bit. We'll follow the property line here. This property is 70 something feet across. You could see that tree over there. That's just on the other side of the road, dead in the middle. You see that little bit of brown trunk. That's off of my property. So it's about 70 wide and 300 deep. So it's a nice long piece. And considering this is a mountainous area, if you look up here, see the mountains on the other side, this is actually very flat land. It's not crazy at all. This is our orange tree. Isn't that cool? It's already a nice mature tree with oranges on it. We've got yam vines everywhere. This is Dioscorea alata. There's alata on this property. Great big ones. And actually, you probably can't tell what tree that is, but the yam vines are growing on top of a cinnamon tree. So we have cinnamon as well. Right there, yams growing on cinnamon next to an orange tree. And then just over here,
This is a big boulder. This is a big rock here. I didn't realize this.
we're also growing a rock here.
But I thought this was just dirt.
Yeah, this is a
big
huge rock.
boulder here.
It's just really hard to tell what's going on with the property right now.
I
You
know.
kind of trip around over it because you can't figure out where bits and pieces are. Right here is cocoa. So we've got cocoa, cinnamon, and then we've got yams up in there, and then over to an orange, which is pretty amazing. We just keep going through the brush here. Oh yeah, this is another citrus. This one is actually on the neighbor's side, but part of it hangs over slightly. So I guess we can pick a few of them on this side. It's apparently some sort of sour orange. I'm gonna go the other way. Can you see this guy? Or this gal? It's probably a lady spider. Look at how pretty she is. Alright, I'm getting distracted. So we were cutting along here, originally thinking this was probably the line, but the other day I came over here with some surveyors, my kids, and we figured out where the marker poles were and kind of knocked a little bit of the brush down, but I've got to clear along here, and then I'm going to put another living fence in, fedge, whatever you want to call it. It's basically just a hedge made from Gliricidia sepium. And I may get some other hedge plants and experiment along the length of it, because I've got a lot of things I could plant here for hedges. I could use coffee for part of it. So now we're coming down to the bottom. This is a mango tree. This variety is called Julie. And then that's the neighbor's cocoa on the other side. Right down here. Here is the end of my property. Bing! Right there. And then that's actually my neighbor's house right there. He's here occasionally. He built his house out of Coca-Cola crates, which tells you about the building codes here. We're actually in a free country, man. No building codes. Now there technically are building codes, but they're not that hard. Look at this. Here's a mandarin. Beautiful looking mandarin orange. Some little fruits on it already. So this is the end of our property. And you can see it's just thick jungle back here. It's not been cleared in a long time. There's some massive trees up here, some of which we can use for lumber, some of which we'll probably just leave. I'll take you around the side. Alright, I'll show you the neighbor's house. Isn't that cool? He told me that the Coca-Cola bottling plant, one of them was closing down, so he decided to make a house out of Coca-Cola crates. And this is just kind of his weekend house. He's got fields back here that he works, so he comes in from town, works out here, and then goes on back. So this is the road going down one side of the property. This is all our land here to the left. And this road is the end of our property. So this delineates one border. It's an access road, but my car's not actually strong enough to drive on it without getting stuck, even though it's not that sloped. But you can see this is all flat in here. In the middle is a starfruit tree, which you probably can't see very well. There's some of these really tall nitrogen fixing trees. I have not been able to nail down a species. A friend of mine said they might be an albizia, but I cannot tell. They're gigantic. And there's a skin up tree somewhere back here, also called, I think it's called skin up. It's got a bunch of different names.
There's a sugar apple somewhere, and I cannot remember.
There is a sugar apple in here somewhere.
I can't remember where it is because it doesn't have sugar apple.
There are also passionfruit fall all over the ground back here because they're up in the trees. So you can see a little passionfruit on the ground. See that? I've been eating them every time I come over here. There's just tons of them. Free. And I don't even know where the vines are. They're up there somewhere. And they just drop perpetually. This is pretty cool. Free food. So we keep going up here. This land is all very flat here in the middle. This will be our farming area. Really nice to work. We've got a navel orange right here, which is a nice big tree. And we've got another cocoa. That's the one that I showed you from the edge of the banana clearing where we've been coming over and toasting marshmallows. We made s'mores the other night, had a celebration for our new land. But this is all ours. And over the next few months, I've got to get water and power over here and start building. And I want to build a cracker house. Here's a initial look at the plan that my friend Sid sketched out for us. He's a fantastic draftsman, and he did this you could see it's a dog trot style house, and that's what we'd like to build right in here. We've got to take these plantains out of the middle here and then build right on this whole area. But yeah, we'll get to it eventually. I have no idea what I'm doing with building houses. I can build furniture, I've built some instruments, but a house is a brand new thing. And obviously I'm gonna have to put it on YouTube because that's what we do in this day and age. So what do you think about the new land?
No, I love it. I'm very happy, very excited. Sorry if I'm distracted. I just realized there's a little mango over there too that I didn't realize. Every time we come, I see new things that I didn't realize were here. I'm very excited to have our own place again, and just to get rolling on building a house and then making some gardens, and just to be able to have a place where the kids can go out and just play and be outside again.
Right, because where we are now, there's no yard for us.
Right, so
it's just street.
That's huge. Every time we come over, the kids are doing their own little projects, and it's just good to be outside again, to have a place for them to just do that. And it's good, it's healthy, we're really glad to just be here. So even though we haven't done anything,
it's ours. We own land. I'm standing on my own land.
Yeah, really excited.
Look at my wife's pretty feet are on my own land. Look at that. It's so good to own land.
Yeah, I mean, we had our own place in Florida, so when we moved here, we haven't had
really hard to be a renter for a long time.
2.5 years.
I'm like ready to just camp over here.
Yeah. And it's been a lot of fun to come down and light fires, big fires, and just cook hot dogs and marshmallows and stuff like that. An interesting thing, I didn't think about this until the other day, and I'm going to tell you all. Usually back in the States when we would do a big fire. You do it when the weather's starting to get cool because you feel like, why would you do it when it's warm? Well, this is the cool season for us, and it's not really cool, but it's cooler. Anyhow, so we did a fire because that's what we did. And I realized it's actually pleasant to stick around and have a fire, whereas back in the U.S. when we would do fires when it was cool, the front of you gets warm by the fire. The front of you gets toasty warm, and then the back of you is cold. And then you'd spin around and warm up the back of you and the front of you. And it's like, after a little while, I'm like, okay, I'm not really enjoying this anymore.
You like to just be warm all the way through.
I'm just going to go back in the house. I'm really not enjoying this, but we were doing a little fire out here a couple of times, and it's like, I could just spend all evening out here. This is really nice. Just a lot of fun. So I told David we should have a permanent bonfire area.
Oh, absolutely.
Where we can just, it was a great family time. So I didn't know this would be a great family time to do that sort of thing. So now we have the beach, which is family time, and then we can do bonfires, campfires together as family time, and sing songs and get David to bring out his guitar and just have fun.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm glad we got to show this property off. I've been really excited to show you guys. We actually filmed a tour the other day, but the microphone was off, so it didn't actually have any audio. So we're doing it again, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing all the stuff we're doing. I'm like so psyched about the stuff that we can do here, and I'm gonna, just enjoy over time cleaning it up bit by bit and breaking it up and figuring out where we're gonna put the house, where we're gonna put the garden beds, and all that stuff. So thanks, and I'll catch you guys soon. I just put out a new booklet, a composting booklet that will show you how to do composting without worrying about all the rules and without having to deal with all the nitrogen carbon ratio stuff and everything that everybody freaks out about. So just forget all those rules, quit throwing stuff in the landfills, and check out my book. It's a free download. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and get it for free. It's like 10 or 12,000 words or something like that, with tons of info on alternative and traditional composting methods that will get you composting and feeding the ground and not throwing things in landfills. And until next time, may your thumbs always be green.
I went to see David the Good. We listened to Portishead and drank spiced rum.
That's the inside of a passion fruit right there. Isn't that weird? It's really kind of sour, but it tastes awesome. Usually people put it in juice, but I like to eat them straight. I can catch me making them huge, man. You just cut one end off and then suck the juice out of the inside. It's kind of like an astronaut fruit. Ah. I'm going to catch up with you, John Kohler.